And I'm Gabriel Berfield.
We're working with NexGenTech.
Now, our groundswell objective was to support. And by supporting, we are implementing a system that everyone in the company is centered around, which will provide them with information and communication resources to assist each other. Our goal was to enable the client to lead a nomadic computer life. Our client, like we said, was NexGenTech, who is a computer help company. Now, we would like them to be able to store tools on their remote system, i.e. antivirus or other things they would need, financials, and internal company documents. This is all in order to increase worker productivity. Now, the people and stakeholders involved in this project are Dan Goldenberg, the CEO, his finance department, his field agents, the IT department, and the customer service department.
Some of the objectives. We are using Google Analytics to track how often an employee accesses his or her online operating system. This is important for calculating how much work an employee is doing so he or she can get paid appropriately. We're expecting that this will make payments over 70% more accurate over the current system and should increase work proficiency. We are planning on keeping track of new users and returning users and even where these users are located and how often they access the current site. Our final results are still pending due to the inaccuracies of current data through Google Analytics. Our strategy. We first questioned current employees to find out day-to-day activities. We checked out various technologies focusing heavily upon cloud computing. Then we tried to find the best technology that fits everyone's individual needs, or if we couldn't do that, we would at least customize one to do so. The technology. We implemented an online operating system that could be accessed from any online computer. The online service, titled iOS, has various capabilities, such as finance tracking for billing customers, internal messaging, uploading local files online, and a calendar.
Now, we learned a few things by implementing the system. One is that cloud operating systems are the way of the future. We feel that everyone will soon be moving to the systems once they are polished and easier to use. Then we learned that users want access to everything, anywhere, at all times, thus leading to a nomadic digital lifestyle. We learned that PHP is very hard. We had to do a lot of customization, especially to get the analytics working, and that chmodding your HTML files is very important in order to have the operating system work correctly.
Thank you. Now we're going to demonstrate our iOS operating system. So welcome to NexGenTech's iOS operating system. I'm going to log in as a test account. Alright, so this is the desktop. This is actually based off of Ubuntu, so a lot of the features will remain the same. So let me just check out the applications. Expand this window out. Try. There we go. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the message board. This is a public board that any user using the system can access and add onto. Basically, this can be used for various uses. A field agent can go out and say, this is how I fix this issue. Or it can be, this is where I am at the moment. Or, can anybody help me with this?
Next, I'm going to be showing you the mail application, which is called iMessages. And I'll make a test message to send to myself to show you how the system works. My username is this. And I'm just going to mention any test thing. And next time I log into my username, I will see that message. You can send files through that, and you can send anything you need to, pretty much.
Okay. The next we're going to talk about is iDocs. iDocs is your typical word processor. It very similar to Microsoft Word, actually. Same basic features apply. You can create new documents. You can even print your documents. Everything actually goes through the browser you're using. So if you have your settings for Firefox, for example, to print off a specific printer, when you click print on iOS, it will keep those same settings. Same applies with any used or saved passwords that you might have. So basically, this is a test. All right. No, I don't want to say that.
Next, I'm going to be showing you the finance application we were able to implement.
Oh, there we go. Oh, click a little too many. All right.
And I'll just make a sample transaction to show you how the system works. We'll just enter a sample number code, sample date, transaction description, payment from customer, and for $500. And once we commit the transaction, it gets stored in the company database on the system. It takes a little while to load, but you can check it out later.
Alright, next up is group sharing. Now I can do this actually through my home folder and clicking on groups. Now this is very important for collaboration because any user, as long as they log into the system, can go into the groups file and add folders or even add to the public folder. So this folder is shared amongst every user in the system. So say for example Gabriel wants to sound out a company-wide memo. He can add it into the public folder and everyone will be able to read it.
Or you can save documents into there in order to collaborate on the same document with multiple people. Next, I'm going to show you the RSS feeds, which we added a few sample feeds we think the company would like, which is actually in the bookmarks. And they're easily able to add their own. And I'll click one just to show you how it works. System will run a browser within a browser. And you can go to pretty much anywhere on the internet. This is good when the company wants their users keeping up with the latest their employees keeping up with the latest technologies in order to better serve the customer.
This can also be used because the company can actually track websites that are being accessed through the iOS, as opposed to being accessed through the general browser. Alright, so next we're going to talk about to-do lists. So the to-do list for our presentation, we're going to actually open up in the docs. So our to-do list was to get messaging working, which we were able to do, create a public group so that everyone can access these files, and obviously since I just accessed this to-do list, it's working. Get the analytics working, and that now is working as well, and put on some business applications into the iOS as opposed to just having the standard applications in there.
Next, we're going to show you our milestones. Our number one was to come up with questions for the employees. Number two, we questioned the employees. We analyzed the data. We researched the appropriate technologies. We selected iOS. We implemented it on my web server. We customized it to get it up and running for the business. We tested it, and our next step will be to give it to the clients. Now, both the to-do list and the milestones will be located and accessible through our group share that we will provide for you.
And that's all. We want you to enjoy this. Take a good test run. Please feel free to play around with every application you want. There's a lot to play around with. Definitely familiar yourself with this because this is the way of the future. And we hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you very much.